I need to fit all of this into 3 suitcases. I know how the thing in here works. I don't want to pack. I just want to play Love in Deep Space. Hi, and welcome to the YouTube channel. I am Kelsey Kishimoto. I'm an artist based in the Bay Area of California, and I have the privilege of selling my art full-time as my job. It's been wonderful, and recently, in the past year or so, my job has taken me to travel a little bit more. I've been flying out of state, selling my art in different parts of the country, and most recently, my business is taking me to the state of Washington. Yay! Very exciting. I've never been there before, so this is wonderful. The trick is, though, I need to fit all of this into 3 suitcases. Yes, only 3. Yeah, trying to fit enough inventory to make this event worthwhile into only 3 suitcases is definitely a challenge. So, of course, my YouTuber brain thought, let's film it. Since I've been traveling a lot more often, I am figuring out different tricks and different ways to make fitting my business into a limited amount of space more doable and possible and effective too. So I thought it'd be interesting to share with anyone who is going to start traveling soon and they don't really know how to pack. Now, if you're returning regular to my channel, you might notice that I'm looking a little more dolled up than usual for these studio vlogs. That is because I have fallen into a very deep rabbit hole, as some of you already know, with this video game. And the main character is customizable, so here's mine, and she looks so freaking hot. She looks like such a baddie. I'm in love with her. But like most of the time when I'm playing this game, I'm sitting on the couch in my sweats and like looking like a scrub. And I'm like, I gotta compete with her. Like, she can't look like this and then I look the way that I do. So I've been dolling up a little bit more at home. And part of that is in thanks to the wonderful people at Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa is a brand with high quality products. You can expect hypoallergenic, long lasting, sustainable, and water resistant jewelry from them. In addition to that, you also don't need to break the bank. I am a business here at Kelsey Kishi Draws, right? I like to pinch pennies wherever I can. Ana Luisa helps me do that with jewelry starting as low as $39. And the more you buy, the more that you're able to save. Also, free and fast shipping anywhere in the United States, and anywhere outside the United States is affordable and fast. And to top it all off, a 2-year warranty on all products. Whether you're a small business owner who wants to look good as the face of your brand, or you're deep in a video game tunnel like me and you need to compete with your sexy pixelated avatar, Ana Luisa will help you do just that. So if you're interested in shopping for yourself, check out the link in my description box below. I could sit here and chat literally all day, but we have a business to run, a video to film, suitcases to pack. All of this needs to, not all of this, that's ridiculous. I'm not packing all of this, but some of this needs to be packed away, and we're gonna head out to Washington State, so let's go. So first things first, we need to grab the inventory from here. It's a little nightmarish, but that's why I have that dividing wall, so that I don't have to see it all the time. We're gonna grab suitcases, only 3, and I have a lot of suitcases, so I try to pick the ones that are the most effective. Other things like display, bags, whatnot. Let's go. So a couple tips right off the bat. We're flying, so weight is going to be really important. You want to make sure that you're maximizing the amount of weight that you're able to use, which in this case is going to be 50 pounds per suitcase. Then in the carry-on is whatever I can physically lift over my head, right, to tuck away in there. So I've done this a few times. I know my limits. Basically, that thing's also going to weigh about 50 pounds. I'm fit enough, I guess, to make it work. With that in mind, everything that's going into the check-ins, I'm going to keep as light as possible so I can fit even more in there since there's a lot of physical space. And then carry on, all my heavy stuff is going in there in addition to my electronics, which are heavy, so it works out. Something that happens to be really heavy is my wrist straps, like my keychain stuff, so that's going in the carry-on. A lot of display stuff I use, I actually switch out when I'm flying for lighter alternatives. So for example, I have a banner that is kind of big, but I also have have a small one that is a lot lighter and doesn't take up as much space that I'm going to be using for my travel shows. There are different hooks that I use for travel shows because they're lighter, again, less weight, less space kind of a thing. So as you're packing your check-ins, make sure that you're keeping those things in mind. Are there any alternatives that you could use instead that will save on weight, or is there anything you could shift over to your carry-on? Another option is shipping. You can always ship stuff over, but because how dry winter has been for these events, I don't want to risk shipping stuff over and then having to ship it back. I would rather just bring what I can, and if I sell out, I sell out. So that's my strategy for this show. We'll see how it pays off in the next vlog. Something else you might want to do is write out a list of all the things that you need to bring. That being said, I don't do that. Not me giving advice and then not even following it. Here's the reason I don't write out a list. I've done it before, but the thing is, as I'm writing it out the list, I forget all the things that need to be on that list. So if I follow that list, I end up not bringing everything that I need. I've had people tell me, it's like, oh, don't write the list all at once, write it like throughout the week. But the thing is, each event I sell at needs different things. So like an outdoor local event is gonna need something very different from a travel event in Washington. And then a driving travel event in SoCal is gonna need something very different from a local convention, you know? So it's like, I know how the thing in here works. So what I do is I cater to it as best as I can. And it's worked so far, but I'm just saying, maybe you're a little less stupid than I am and a list might actually work for you. You can go ahead and use a list, but just know that I will not be, what is this with the hair? Just know I'm not using a list, but so far for my travel events, so far I've survived. So I think I'll be fine. This is for anyone who thinks I'm being a drama queen about saying like, I can't remember how to make to-do lists. I literally was just about to make one. It was only 2 things long. I wrote down one and I forgot the other one already. It's been like 10 seconds. We're gonna start with the carry-on. This isn't anything fancy. This is just something I bought from Ross. But yeah, we've got the carry-on. In the carry-on is gonna go most of my grid stuff. And when you do this, the more exact you can be, the better. So I try to like draw my thing out and count out how many things I need. I have miscounted in the past before, but for the most part, this works out. So I've drawn out exactly how many grid panels I need, how many connectors I need, and I do pack like 1 or 2 extras just because I have had things break on me in the past. But other than that, we're gonna stay pretty exact. Need that later. So I need 45 of these and then 2 of these. I do recommend if you use these for your setups, try to go when you're flying with more of these than these. Get rid of these if you can, just because these get really heavy. And I like to put it under this flap. 4, 9, 10, 18, 19, 20. Where's that notebook? No, like for a word, that notebook. 45. And then we need 48 connectors and 2 of the grid things too. Also cannot forget this hammer. This hammer is very helpful. Toss them in here for now. 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, rest of these can go here. Okay, so next, what's gonna go over here are my wrist straps. These get very heavy because of the metal parts on them. And I've got a few different designs in here. And I tuck that in that little gap right there. I like this flap because then it just connects over here. Holds them in place. This thing does get heavy, so don't do this unless you are confident you can put it over your head. And then over here is a lot of electronics. So like my Square reader, my iPads, my hotspot, and then honestly like sometimes underwear and stuff. Just like extra stuff I can't fit in my personal whatever. But the goal is to try to fit most of my things in my personal item. So this I'm actually going to finish packing later because those things are charging at the moment. We're on to suitcase number 2. Again, nothing fancy, just something we found at Ross, Walmart, whatever. This sleeved part, or the part that like zips up, I'm actually going to put apparel in there. If you're not familiar, I sell a lot of t-shirts. They're kind of like my #1 thing. So I try to bring the most of that. This half, however, is going to be reserved for the other inventory, which I do a little bit differently. I sell stickers in a self-serve format that not a lot of other people do. So I want to show you guys. Here, I have these panels that I've DIY'd. I've had a lot of people ask about them, so I've been thinking about like making a video tutorial about that. If you're curious, let me know in the comments and I might do that. But these are all panels with my stickers. They're just like foam boards that I DIY'd with some patterns. And then I attached these adhesive pockets. I cut out some holes to make it easier. This is a mix of, I was inspired by a video by Molkana and then another video by my friend Valor and Vellum. And I combined both of them to make this of my own. But this is how I sell stickers. And it looks really nice set up. If you've seen my setup, then you're familiar with it. The thing is though, I normally put this in a big plastic box, but that box gets bulky and heavy. So when I fly, I have something a little bit more sophisticated. These are really nice plastic bags from my local Asian mart. You know, high quality. Look at that. That's a thick plastic. Not getting that just anywhere. This is very, I feel like this is very teeth of me to do, but it works. And this is just so the stickers don't fall out, because while they're secure in there, like this way at a 90-degree angle, in the suitcase, they're gonna get tossed around a bit. So when I unpack from landing, they are gonna be a little askew. So I am gonna have to put them back, but for the most part, they stay in good enough place for this. That'll go in one corner. So here's an example of me switching out alternatives. I've bought a ton of these hooks from Daiso to hang on my grid displays for self-serve, for keychains and stuff. They're nice quality, but they're heavy. So on Single Sploot's YouTube, I saw her recommend these ones, also from Daiso. They fit on the grids the same, but they're a little bit smaller and they're made of plastic instead of metal. So they're much lighter. When I fly, I like to use these instead. They don't hold as many, so I have to restock it more often, but I think it's worth it. That'll go in there. The next thing we've got to do is pack all the little things. I used to put things into giant boxes and then try to make it fit in there, but I found out that's not super, it's not very efficient on weight and it's not very effective on like packing either. I find that the more small things I have, the more I can like puzzle piece it and then take things out and move them around. So that's why everything here looks like a mess, but we're gonna put this in here. Another tip is if it's not okay to be jostled around, maybe don't put it in here unless you can pack it tight without it getting overweight. All the things I'm gonna pack in here are okay with a little bit of shaking. I'm also gonna change something up on my grid panels. I'm gonna use some of these, so we'll see how that goes. Time to Tetris a bit. Also keep in mind where the wheels are. That helps a little bit. I mean, when the check-in people are tossing around, it doesn't matter, it's gonna get jostled anyway, but while you're carrying it around, you know, that's one less thing. Oh, I do pack extra stickers too, by the way, in boxes like this. The key is to pack it tightly without overpacking the weight. So that's why we're gonna take some time doing this. Lint roller for my apparel. I do have custom bags. This gets tricky because this is space that like technically could be filled up by something I'm selling, but I do find this to be worthwhile. So you just choose your battles. This is pretty much it for this suitcase. Last thing I need to pack are some shirts, but that's gonna kind of continue into the third one too, because the third one's gonna be mostly shirts too. I mentioned I'm putting only things in here that are okay with being jostled around. I'm not including my postcards because the corners do get screwed up. I just throw them all into bubble wrap, and then this is probably gonna go into my carry-on. Come here. Look who's decided to join us. Hello. Oh. You're gonna fly, use one of these. See if I can use it without Cody. I think this suitcase is done. We're gonna move on to the last one. Okay, here we are with the last suitcase. In this one, we're gonna pack the rest of the shirts. Hopefully they all fit. I feel like it's gonna be a little overweight. And then on this side is some more display stuff. First off, this is my banner that I'm gonna be using. It's a smaller fabric banner as opposed to like the vinyl mesh one that I use for outdoor events. This is easier for me for traveling, and I don't need to worry about bringing magnets or anything. This just drapes over the table. And then here's another substitute item. So I sell clothes, I need clothes hangers, right? But I don't know if you've ever tried packing clothes hangers. It's a freaking pain. They're not meant to be packed. They just want to stay in one place. So I saw this again on Lindsay Singles. Shout out to Lindsay. You should just have like some kind of Daiso storefront, because I bought so many things at Daiso because of you. She showed me these hangers on her YouTube video. They're genius. And they just like, they fold so easily. They're super light. So I've been using these for almost a year now whenever I travel. I'm gonna bring about 5 shirts and 2 tote bags to display. Then lastly, we've got these poles. I'll include some kind of visual of how I use these, but I'm gonna go with my ALA strategy. I typically have used this base and attached it to the table. But the thing about this base is this part is so heavy, and so it limits how much I could fit in here. But at ALA, I accidentally forgot a base, and so I had to strategize, and I used these and Velcro. Oh, I need to pack some Velcro zip ties. Oh, that could have been bad. I used these and Velcro zip ties and attached it to my grid display, and I was able to not have to use these. So I'm gonna go grab some Velcro zip ties before I forget. In classic Kelsey fashion, I can't find them. So we're gonna buy them on Amazon right now. If you're curious, this is what they are. They're like zip ties except Velcro, so they're reusable. Reminder, Kelsey, I'm gonna add that to that to-do list that I still can't remember the other thing I need to write down, but pack Velcro straps. You know what else with to-do lists? I forget to look at to-do list. So like, I don't even use them. Anyways. We've got tote bags, and then these are open shirts. These ones need to go on display. I like to keep these shirts as like sealed up into plastic bags for as long as possible. So these open ones I get from like because outdoor markets, I do more like a self-serve apparel setup. So I just pull from that inventory. But as much as possible, I try not to open up these shirts. Stack them out so they're nice and flat. Yeah, that feels heavy. Cody, help. I'm gonna say that's probably a little bit overweight. I'm gonna have Cody come home before I confirm it. Okay, my rug is very dirty from the suitcases now, so just ignore that. I'll clean it later. But the last thing I wanna show you guys is my personal item. I reserve suitcases strictly for business stuff, and then everything of my own, clothes, personal things, toiletries, it's all gotta fit in here. Even like my purse, you know, as a girl, we have purses and stuff like that. But I wanted to introduce this backpack. If you don't already have a backpack that like optimizes personal item, you should definitely invest in this. I got this off of Amazon for 20 bucks. She's getting kind of dirty because she's well loved. It is optimized for, like, you should be able to live out of this backpack technically. Even the way it opens like a luggage suitcase, straps, inner pockets. There's even like a cord here for charging. I don't really use that. These pockets here, I fill it up with my personal stuff that I'm gonna use, and then I just leave them in here so I never need to like take it out. Yeah, I've got some other things in here that I just leave like all the time, specifically for traveling. This is the main part. This is where I'm gonna put clothes, and that's where the second one comes in. These are packing cubes, compression packing cubes. So inside of here is where like your clothes will go. I just have like other packing cubes. There's big ones, small ones. And then once you've packed it up as much as you can, there's a second zipper that squeezes all of the air out. So then you can get this as flat as possible. This is really nice. So I'm gonna pack all my clothes in there. I'm not gonna pack it today because it's only Monday and I still have 2 more days and I need to do laundry and stuff like that. So I'll pack it then. And then this pocket is where my iPads go. I said they were gonna go in my carry-on. I lied. They go in here because when you go through TSA, you gotta take them out. So this is a really easy way to come out. It has like a pocket specifically for iPads. I bring 2. One is for payments and checkouts, and the other one is my art tablet for me to, and like my business tablet for me to work on. Then again, more pockets and stuff like that. I also stuff like my fanny pack in here sometimes, food charging battery so I can charge my phone while I'm going around. This backpack has been a total game changer. And there's even like a pocket for water bottles here. It's been so nice because I can literally fit everything I need in here, especially in the summertime when I don't need as many thick clothes. It's trickier in the winter, so wear the same jacket every day. That's what I'm gonna do. And my favorite part is that it's got this strap on the back, so you can put this over your carry-on, and then you just have one thing to push around. You don't need to wear this on your back the whole time. Very nice. And I did find, you like my ball? I did find more Velcro zip ties. In addition to using this for my display, I also use these for suitcases because as a little girly, it's hard to push around a bunch of suitcases. So I strap these around the handles of my suitcases so it's easier to push around. Isn't that lovely? I'm so organized. I feel like this video, I was supposed to show you how to be organized, but I'm just showing you how unorganized and chaotic I am. I'm gonna tuck these in here. Ta-da! So in addition to packing my personal item backpack, I still need to finish packing my carry-on, and I wasn't able to film that because most of the things I need to pack are charging. But here's what I need to pack in the carry-on still. We've got those postcards. I need to pack my camera equipment, which thankfully everything I need for my DJI Osmo fits in this. So that's really nice. All the charging cords, so for my different iPads, for my phone, for my camera, the tripod, because I film a lot. This guy here, I don't always use it, but it's just good to have. Cash box, and then personal item stuff. And going in my personal items is my jewelry. So from Ana Luisa, I'm trying to pack light, so I don't bring a ton of jewelry, and that's what I really like about the Ana Luisa jewelry. It's so minimalistic, it goes with anything. And when you buy from them, a lot of the times it comes in like a cute little packet like this. These pieces, these are my favorites. It's like the chain link earrings. They're so cute. And then the necklace matches. It's a tiny version of it. It's so cute. I'm absolutely in love with it. So I'm gonna be packing these in here. So slim, so easy. So don't forget to check out the link in my description box if you really like jewelry like this. If you wanna be able to compete with our Love in Deep Space avatars, you know. And that about wraps up this video. I've said this like 3 times, but I really felt like I was like, oh, I'm gonna go in and show people how to be organized and how to pack. And I just showed you that I'm not organized. But if anything, I hope you find that encouraging because despite not being organized, I still get stuff done. And at the end of the day, if you forget something, here's what I've learned. You can almost always come up with a solution if you're like quick enough on your feet. And I think the best tip I can give you when you're traveling with your business is try to be prepared for absolutely anything by packing as efficiently as possible, but then also be prepared for everything to go wrong and then think on your feet. If you can be ready for anything, then you'll pretty much be set. If you're familiar with this channel, this video is coming out at a different time. Next week, we're going to return back to our usual schedule of videos on Fridays at 9 a.m. So make sure you are subscribed and that you like this video. That way you are notified every time new videos come out. The next one coming up is going to be a vlog of the very trip that I am packing for, Anime Washington. Make sure that you will be tuned in for that. Then my next event after that isn't until the end of February, where I'm going back to an SJ Made event and I'll be selling at FriendFest. This is a really fun event. I hope to see you guys there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! I found the Velcro straps. They were like tucked away in the corner, and now they're covered in Eevee hair! Gross! I feel like this video is just gonna be me exposing like that basically I'm undiagnosed with something. Warning, these can cause cancer. Basically anything in California causes cancer. And then I've also got some other stuff in here. Oh my gosh, it's a Giratina pin! I forgot about this. I did a trade with a guy at ALA. I don't wanna pack. I just wanna play Love in Deep Space. Kayla, Raphael. I hope to see you in the next one. I'm normally much better at hiding how chaotic and unorganized I truly am. It's just for some reason in this vlog, I can't hide it.